Episode 5, Summit. I woke up because I felt snow beneath me. This was strange because I distinctly remember having fallen asleep in a pleasantly warm oasis. As a lion, I am accustomed to temperate climates. Cold snow is very far from my natural habitat and highly unpleasant to me. I yawned, roared in annoyance, and opened my eyes. I was on a snowy peak, high above day-night land. I recognized this environment. It was the Forbidden Mountain. I once prowled here when I was hunting the gazelle. But how did I get here? Did I move here in my slumber? I heard someone snore behind me and recognized the cave bear. I gave it a good slap with my mighty lion paw and jumped right back, knowing the bear would try to maul me. Innocent predator reflex, of course. Wake up, bear!
No, go away, nosy lion. I'm hibernating.
Did you bring me here while I was lion napping?
What are you meowing about? Get out of my cave already.
Wake up and open your eyes already. We're on the top of the Forbidden Mountain.
Nonsense. How did I get here? Did you carry me up here while I was hibernating?
As if I could. You're far, far, far too fat. I thought you carried me up here while I was lion napping.
Why would I do that? I know you are the laziest lion in all day-night land, but certainly won't carry you around. But if you did not bring me here, who did?
It was me.
Hello, Eagle. I thought you did not like visitors up here.
I don't. That's why it's called the Forbidden Mountain.
Nevertheless, you brought us here.
Yes.
While we were sleeping?
Yes.
You grabbed us with your talons and carried us from the oasis all the way up here to your snowy, forbidden mountain peak.
Yes.
Without waking us up?
This is outrageous.
Sounds like a lot of work.
It was easy. I am the mighty eagle.
But why?
To call for a summit.
We're on a summit.
No. A summit. A conference among us apex predators, the most powerful animals in day-night land.
A conference summit? Poppycock.
I think it's a bird thing. What do you want to conference about, Eagle?
I have prepared an agenda with several items, but first, we have to officially start the summit.
I yawned, roared again. Conference, summit, agenda, typical organized eagle stuff. This is going to be the most boring thing I ever experienced. But the eagle seemed determined. It walked around through the snow, which looked quite funny, and positioned itself on a stone so that the three of us were sitting in a circle. Well, the bear and I were still lying around, but we sat up to be on the same eye level with the eagle.
Dear fellow apex predators, lion, bear, we have all gathered here.
Actually, you kind of abducted us.
As embarrassing as it is to admit.
Be that as it may, we have all gathered here for this summit as the largest and most powerful predators of day-night land. Let us move to the first item on the agenda, which is to determine who is the chief predator. Whose job is it to—
I am the strongest. Stronger than you, puny lion cat. and funny, eagle bird.
But I am faster, and I look much better.
Ridiculous, neither of you can fly.
Roar! Wait, you mentioned a job. What is the chief predator's job?
For starters, to organize and lead this summit.
You know what? I think you are the biggest predator. After all, you can fly, and you like to organize things.
Yes, I agree. And you were able to abduct me and the lion, too.
Then it is unanimous. As Chief Predator, I am leading this summit. Let's move on to the next item.
Am I interrupting something?
Gazelle, what are you doing on my mountain again? Get out of here. We are in the middle of our Predators Summit.
And you did not invite me?
You are not a predator.
Sometimes I am. Besides, some call me the most dangerous gazelle in all of Day-Night Land.
That I can confirm. It destroyed 2 beaver dams and caused all kinds of havoc.
Fine, stay, but behave yourself.
Yay!
Great.
Silence! On to the next item on the agenda, the moon. A few lion naps ago, the moon somehow left the lake where it belonged and entered into the orbit of my forbidden mountain, circling around this very peak. Anyone know why this has happened?
Rumors say it was our gazelle here.
Probably. I heard it firsthand from the whale who gave the moon to the gazelle.
I heard that rumor too. Is it true, Gazelle?
What? Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Gazelle! This summit is a serious conference. Did you or did you not kick the moon into the orbit of this very peak?
Did I? Oh yes, I remember. That was fun. I remember it flying around here when I chased after it after kickoff. But where is it now?
To this we will get to in a minute, but first, to officially cross over the second item on the agenda. The Gazelle did indeed kick the moon into the orbit of the Forbidden Mountain. Official predator or not, you really are dangerous. Ha! Even the bear is slightly moving away from you now.
Nonsense. I was scratching my butt.
Certainly. On to the next order of business. As the Gazelle already pointed out, the moon is not orbiting this mountain peak anymore. The reason for this is that the moon crashed.
It crashed? Just like that?
Such things happen.
It wasn't me.
It was not the Gazelle. It was a large body that crashed into the moon. They both landed in the floating glacier clouds that connect to my mountain.
Well, what was it? The large body?
I have not investigated yet, which brings me to my next item.
I suspect I know what it was. You eagles are really slow thinkers with your neurotic orderliness, you know?
Carrot, how did you get here? This is not some open group discussion. It is the summit of apex predators on my forbidden mountain.
So? I was here all along. You didn't notice me. Besides, as the carrot, I should be part of your predator summit.
Why, if at least you were a flesh-eating plant. But you're a carrot. Get out, or I will eat you.
As an eagle, you don't eat plants. None of you do.
I do. Delicious carrot.
Fine, I'm leaving. But you'll regret this. It will remind you who the dominant life form on Day-Night Land is.
Should we be worried?
Probably. Do not anger the carrot.
No, we have completely different things to worry about. Back to the next item on the agenda. Investigating the crashed moon and the body that knocked it out of orbit. We need a volunteer.
Why don't you go? You can just fly over there.
I could, but I'm the chief predator and I don't feel like doing it right now.
Understandably. My annoying cousin, the polar bear, lives over there. So I, too, don't feel like going over there. Gazelle?
What? Sorry, wasn't listening again.
Forget it. Too unreliable. Lion, you're going.
I don't feel like it either, because, I feel too lazy.
Predictable. I vote for the Lion to go.
I vote against it.
Just go already. Let's get this boring summit over with.
Yay!
Then it's unanimous.
It is not!
Unanimous enough. The Lion goes to investigate the crashed moon and unknown body. We'll wait here. The summit takes a break.
I yawned in annoyance, got up, and left the summit. I went over the mountain pass and reached the high plateau that connected the Forbidden Mountain to the floating glacier clouds that covered half of the night side of Day-Night Land. I reached a point where the plateau was touched by the glacier, jumped on it, and climbed up the fern until I reached the fluffy upper side of the glacial clouds. Up here, the ice was soft yet firm enough to walk on it. Sometimes, small clouds of ice detached themselves from the ground and floated upwards into the nothing that was dark clouds and lightning. It looked exactly like when the bear had dug a tunnel, so deep that it came out of the underside of Day-Night Land. As I strolled over this endless plain of fluffy ice floating under dark brooding nothingness, I came by a field of freshly planted carrots. Hello, carrot. And carrot. And carrot.
These carrots are still growing.
On this ice?
It is very rich in minerals. That's why the trees growing out of the underside of the glacial clouds grow so well. And so do my clones. That'll show that arrogant eagle.
Good for you. You mentioned you knew what it was that crashed into the moon?
I have a suspicion, yes. Remember when you and the bear dug a tunnel to rob the Kraken? And all of a sudden you came out of the underside of Day-Night Land? You mentioned something large floating through the void, approaching Day-Night Land.
You think it was that thing that crashed into the moon?
Moons don't leave orbits randomly. There must have been an outside influence. You saw that floating thing in the void about one lion nap ago. And soon after the eagle observed something from the void crashing into the moon? Not a coincidence. But why don't you go have a look? The moon didn't crash far from here, just a bit over that ice cloud hill.
Thanks. I will. Good cloning. I walked up the ice cloud hill, and when I reached the top, I saw it in the near distance. The moon, lying in a crater of the glacier, half buried in ice and snow. It must have been as large as 10 elephants and of irregular shape. I went down the hill and entered the crater. Small pieces of moon were lying around in the snow, spongy black rocks. A wind started blowing around little pieces of ice, so that it looked as if it was snowing. I reached the moon itself. It was dark, shattered, and had a weird shape, as if something had taken a huge bite out of it. There was nothing unusual about it, in my opinion. I did not know what the fuss was about. Crashed moon. So what? I have seen weirder things. Suddenly, I noticed some odd tracks that were so large that I had not perceived them as tracks before. First, my predator instincts were instantly activated, and I started prowling the tracks with huge prey in mind. After sniffing the tracks, I stopped, unsure whether they were from another predator.
Hi, lion.
Rawr! Polar bear, don't startle me like that. I'm on the hunt.
That's why I said hi first. What are you hunting?
Whatever crashed into the moon and probably left these tracks.
Oh, that.
Have you seen it?
No, I came to investigate that myself too. This is my glacier, after all. These tracks are very strange. They don't look like any animal I've ever seen. So huge and formless. Maybe because of the snow and the wind.
I'm getting tired. I think I'm going back to the summit. Tell the others.
What summit?
A predator summit. The eagle organized it and abducted me and the bear. The gazelle randomly joined. Why don't you come too? You're probably one of the largest and heaviest predators.
The gazelle is there. It once challenged me on this territory. My glacier. No thanks. I'm staying right here. I'll, guard the moon.
What was that?
Some edges of the glacier are breaking off. It happens, especially now. You can't crash a moon on a glacier and expect that nothing will happen. The ice usually grows back. But it looks like this time the chunks breaking off will be especially large. They will probably land on the surface of Day-Night Land. If you stay on one of them, you'll float down to the surface. Or crash, depending on the speed.
No. I'm going back to the summit. I went back, out of the crater, up the hill, following my own tracks back to the summit. The ground was shaking. But on the plateau of the glacier, I was quite surprised. There were fields of carrots. Hello, carrot, and carrot, and carrot, and carrot, and...
You may address us as Carrot. We are all Carrot. I'm still the Carrot, just cloned a few hundred times. But we're all the same Carrot.
Hello, carrot, then. The polar bear says this part of the glacier is going to break apart.
Oh yes, the crash landing of the moon and the weight of all of us Carrots are too much. The glacier chunks will float down to the surface, and I, the Carrot, will be everywhere. Carrots will rule, not the predators. By the way, did you find out what it was that crashed into the moon?
No, it was already gone. It left some huge tracks, but they were not of any animal I have ever seen.
Maybe I'll find out soon. Once I'm spread all over Day-Night Land, I'm gonna be the all-seeing Carrot. It will be a glorious carrocracy.
You always have the right idea, Carrot. I'm going to report back to the Predator Summit anyway, before this floating glacier cloud breaks apart. I left the Carrot to its schemes of Day-Night Land domination and returned to the edge of the glacier that was touching the Forbidden Mountain. Finally, the shackling ice was replaced by the stable snow under my paws. I climbed the mountain pass that was leading to the peak until I reached the summit. The others were still there. The eagle was busily walking around, organizing something. Its feathers, the snow, the gazelle's hair, everything. The gazelle was doing something chaotic with the snow. The bear, apparently the only normal animal around here besides me, was sleeping.
Finally, you're back. Well, anything to report? What is this monstrous noise we're hearing? The summit is reopened. Bear, wake up! Gazelle, brave yourself. First item on the agenda, the lion reports back from the investigation mission.
Hooray! The lazy lion investigated!
Lion, report!
The moon landed indeed on the glacier and left a huge crater. There was also definitely something on the moon that smashed it out of orbit and crashed down too. Something huge. The tracks were large and unidentifiable. As to the monstrous noise, huge chunks of the glacial clouds are breaking off since they were fractured by the crashed moon, and because the carrots growing on it are becoming too heavy.
Carrots? Never mind. We need another volunteer to hunt down that unknown creature that's now stalking the glacial clouds.
The glacial clouds are breaking apart. I'm not going back there right now. Besides, it's time for a nap.
Glacial clouds breaking apart? Sounds great. I volunteer. Bye.
See? That's enthusiasm. Gazelle, wait! The summit has not officially confirmed your mission.
The summit is mostly napping.
Unbelievable! It begins! The glacial clouds are breaking apart! One chunk is coming right into this direction.
Interesting.
Wait, what are the carrots doing on the ice?
That's what I tried to tell you.
Hello, arrogant eagle. We are back. I claim this mountain in the name of the Carrot Empire.
Get off my mountain, carrots!
This is our mountain now, just like everything else.
I felt a sleep coming over me. The quarreling between the carrots and the eagle made for a soothing background noise. I expected that Day-Night Land would not be the same again the next time I wake up. And I like that too. It never stays the same in my dreams either. So while the gazelle was hunting the unknown monstrous creature, and the eagle and the carrot were battling for world domination, and the glacial clouds were breaking apart, I was falling asleep.